Okay, thank you very much. I'm Mr. Robert Blamo, one of the missing fish fathers.
We heard that you along with the traditional chief leader with some other hierarchies went to Burmans where the incident took place. Can you actually tell what of some of the things you were able to discover while in Burmans?
Well, you see, I'd like to say thank you for the chairman of the Traditional Council, Honorable Kawa, because with his strength and his involvement, at least he granted us, the parents, some sign of relaxation. We're not really worried as before, but the fact that we were able to establish beyond all reasonable doubt, firstly, that there was no sign of any people killing capside or children in water, or they got drowned. That is completely all the question. It never happened at no time. So we are happy to hear that, and we are, as parents, we also want to say, and we pray that the government, the Ministry of Internal Affairs, will see reason and come to our aid so that we can be able to retrieve our kids, as we know where exactly they are. We know the terrain they need, but it is something beyond our level. And we talk about traditional things, and that authority lies fully and squarely in the hands of the Ministry of Internal Affairs. So they will come to our aid, because the police in this matter, unless we give the information to the police, nothing the police can bring. The police cannot go in the bush. The police don't have vehicle. They don't have manpower. They don't have anything. So we are the ones who are really being, backing them up, just so that they see for themselves what is obtaining. But it will bring you some surprises. So I want to understand. If Moses took our children and they are missing, and we who the parents supposed to be like grumbling Moses that our children are dead, but it's now the other way around, that we are telling Moses that our children are still alive, and Moses is spending dollars and dollars and dollars here, there, to convince us that the children are dead. So, I mean, what is he trying to do? Is he trying to help us or destroy us? Because we should be on Moses back to tell Moses that our children are dead, and Moses should be telling us, no, they are not dead. We're trying to find them. I think he should be on that side of the coin. The children are still alive. We find them, assuring the parents that we will find them. But Moses is spending money all around to make sure that every authority in this country can tell that the children are dead. So you see the inconsistency right there. We have gone to where the police cannot reach. We have gone there. We have gotten all of the traditional, the hierarchy of the traditional council in Liberia to go there. I mean, so where we have reached, we are very grateful to God for that. As I just said.
Talking about the police are there to protect life and property. But with so many different statements coming out of the police, are you still hopeful and trusting the police to carry on the investigation in bringing your children back?
Well, I think the police is perhaps hopeful in us helping them, because Like since the incident happened on the 17th, we took the police to bomb mines on the 18th, 19%, 19. The police won't happen, complaining for the affair of the country devil. Can't go in the devil bush. We carry them there, but we're not member of the foreign society or we're not member of the traditional thing, but we took them there. And some of the places we reached, even the superintendent of Bon County, the authority in the very former district, that video where they said that was the first time going there. So apparently the police need to come to us to help them. But instead the police even after the money, because she mostly is chucking money to them. Let me just give you a simple scenario. Somebody guys in Liberia tells you that they can go workshop in America, or go to police academy, go workshop and they come back and say they go to police academy. But at this point in time, they should be checking Moses' bank account. Why Moses, since the 17th, is spending excessively? Why? They should be able to check why Moses is throwing money to mobile money to different accounts. Why? The police is supposed to be able to trace Moses' call log from Saturday, Friday, Saturday, to have all those that went along Moses, they call law and see, because we're not supposed to be giving the information to the police. Police will be on top of this.
Yes.
The police don't even know the crime scene, they don't even know where the thing happened. None of them have reached there. So, the police only after what they can get from Moses and so that they can tell us. And now we're going to prove beyond reasonable doubt that our children are still alive, and with the strength of the Almighty God, we will bring them home.
Okay, so Mr. Blamo, lastly, before we get to some of your family member, it was alleged by Moses that the 3 children got drowned in the water. 3 children got drowned in the water. It was alleged by him. And you went to Bon Mine. Could you kindly tell us, did you met with the person who was driving the kingdom? If so, what was the interaction from the person who was riding the kingdom?
You know, let me be frank with you. As much as we want to be polite, we can also be very boisterous. If there was any iota to the, it's just like somebody come to you and I'm driving my own car, and I come to tell you that, look, I was driving the car, accident, I killed 3 persons, and but where the accident happened, I can't remember the place. And the car said the car went in the valley, but I can't remember the valley. But only my children survived. You know? So the killing man up to present, I given several statements. But what is equally important is the evidence. We cannot see the killing. We cannot show the site. We cannot find. Even we're not talking about bodies, because God forbid we don't even want to discuss their bodies. But we're talking about their personal effect. Maybe by mistake, one t-shirt or one pin or one foot of shoes will have been floating on the water for people to see segment of the item or the tools. Somebody drop their gold ring into the very water where they show us that the kingdom capsule, and the people want to go down to the bottom of the water and find the ring and bring it up. Then the kingdom they can't find gold ring. They went to the very place that they show that where the kingdom had the now we have a different version of the story. One version says the kingdom spin and then the water fell and the kingdom went down. The second version, the kingdom spin, the water quarry, and then the kingdom capsule. The third version, they see one person appear in the kingdom, say they got to play water enter in the kingdom, and then they all jump off. and the canoe drift away. So the canoe drift on that St. Paul River all along the way to Kakata to the town. Nobody saw it. They were there all fallacy. Something that Moses planned. Because the father and mother of Moses were able to tell my Catholic priest at about 9 o'clock in the evening that my children were dead. Our children were dead. And then when he called me, he told me he got the news around 12. So there was no one there where we were sleeping. He got the news. How will you get the death news of somebody 12 o'clock midnight? But before 9:30 to 10 o'clock, you already call somebody to inform them. So that we will send the information out before the incident actually occurred. Where's the intent for the children to go through that bush, through the water, that small water to cross, through that forest at that time of the night, only to come along? Why? So this is because, and I want to lay out question why. But all due respect, they did not even reach the crossing point, they did not even enter any king. Moses got there and he delivered them. That's false. Wait. Thank you.
Good morning, man. So I see you don't have to go. You got to ask you this question. Can you please stay on your mood relationship with the missing children?
My name is Tigon. Mother of one Bobby Bianque. Father of 3 missing children.
Mother, can you just narrate a short story when Bobby was leaving, when you even know that Bobby was leaving to go home and to work?
Actually, Bobby is not living with me. Bobby is living in Hotel Africa that I know of. I live in Tingo Village, Raofi Highway. But then, I caught from April and Samuel calling my late niece in the morning time that Monday morning that your brother Bobby got done that Saturday night. Then the little boy said he went, the lady asked he went to go Teba. Then he said no. He said what he went to go do. He said my boss man seen Moses eyes for Bobby to help and bring Mr. Blamo's son, including certain items for their camp. So when they brought it, they carried the thing to them. Then, on their way back in Monrovia, they came on Casca, and they were able to be there. The 3 children from the time were able to survive, but the 3 children from Monrovia, they didn't survive. When they called me Monday, around 12 o'clock, when they said they just called me and said Bobby died, I said I prefer spending on my child when the child sick instead of somebody calling me that your child died. Why calling me now? Then they said no. The body in that Hotel Africa. A.B. Samuel said that a boss man told him to carry some material, including Paplamo's son. Where? In Simose camp. I said, where they call Simose camp in Tanya? Then a follower, before I say no, I have to ask question where they call Simose camp. To Tomo Vede, they say no. To Beaumont, but where beyond Beaumont? I said, then I can reach to Beaumont today. I have to go for car that very day. I got to Beaumont around 3 o'clock. When I got to Beaumont, I asked the April and Samuel me. The children said, oh yeah, they make order. I went there because you keep calling us you come for your body. You brought your brother body all the way in Boma, so you come for the body. The children say stay. I say no, I can't stay. I must go and see. I must go and find out from the men. People are children. We don't want you to cry. Say, me, the time of crying, I have cried. I have wept my tears away. Because the children, their partner living from their smaller baby. Bobby was baby when their father. I did taking care of them until they reached this stage. So I got a heart because I'm the older sister for all my brother and sister then. I can speak for them anyway. So when on my hair, I don't ever to speak for myself, but I will try. But I have to go there. I left, I went in Bowman. When they let get pour him, he told the girl say, when Nami crying, he told the Nami say, go to your friend place, I come in there. Nami said, no, that Nami won't come. By the time the lady said that Nami won't, he said, okay, then let me go to the police station so that you can see me there. You don't go to the police station. I will all walk to the police station. When we walk to the police station that afternoon, I went and met him. So I said, who is the Abraham Samuel? Then he said, yeah, Abraham Samuel. So I went and asked him. I said, AB, how was it? Before the recording that Bobby got drowned in the water, there was 3. Don't ask me, ask the police. I said, I should ask the police. He know him. Before the police say, just your heart burning, leave him. All that long we've been in bone mines. Moses is there, put me money all around, sending money on mobile, protecting those people. Instead of him talking to us as family, we who say our children are not dead. But then he keep telling us that our children are dead. Why can I have faith? You who carry my child, you don't have faith. So in my own belief, upon the God I'm serving, our children are not dead. Our children are living in Moses here. So we are calling on the government of Liberia to help us in that direction to get our children out. Reason being, if you're going to do your sacrifice, it is sacrifice now. You release them, they can't answer. Because the effort is not there. When you enter the police today, that only Moses they may speak to. But then they do after, voila, we say when they get ready, we heard that you're going to Moses camp, you're going to bring camp. So the camp, the human being, which one important? Then you're protecting camp. So me, Abraham Samuel, who is Moses, mission man, and Moses, they call those children. By the time they tell the person you release those children, they will release them. So we are calling on the government to even help us in that direction because the distance that we have been going on. Even I was sitting down that know about water well. Even to the bobbies that they're talking about, he know about water well. They play what they say, they can't drown it. When you reach there, no foam myself was there. We made our own foam out there. No kingdom out there. We made our own kingdom out. Because even the survivor that were paying the kingdom, he can't give her one statement. Even the man who had a kingdom couldn't give her the same statement. I think he even tend to argument between them. The other one will not give her the same statement. So we're doing our own follower in their children business. But then, I don't even know how to describe it. I don't even know how to talk it. I'm only saying the government should help us in that direction for the children to be free.
So, man, what may be listening to ask you, what would be your next course of action if children are not released immediately as you do?
The children are not released. We have to go to court to ask them, to ask the traditional council to give us documents that they go and perfect and perform whatsoever you think they can perform to get those children, because we do have power in that direction. But then it has power to tell us, say, you have power, you go and look for your own children. Long time we not get those children, but we don't have power in that.
Good morning. Good morning. Please can you tell me your name and your relationship with the three missing persons?
All right. I'm Samuka V. Conan, brother to Mercy Conan, mother to one of the missing children in person of Shafa Boima, and making direct representation on behalf of the Conan at this interview.
Can you give us a gist of what happened?
Honestly, let me firstly establish this. The widely speculated news about children getting drowned, see mostly being the source of this information dissemination, is highly mythical. It's highly mythical. That's a lie. Canoe capsizing into a river where children got drowned is a myth. It's a purported story. Nothing of such. All of the investigation has proven this. I want to just start identifying some sharp contradictions in all of the stories so far being given by individuals from the very local. From the end of Moses to Brother Blambo, earlier on, he made it to have known that the children got drowned at about 12 to 1 o'clock when he was sleeping. He also called one of their church fathers, letting you understand that children have gotten drowned, who he sent for to have done some work for him at about 9 o'clock on the same day. That inconsistent by time value of or by time is indicative of some foul. Beyond that point, trying to discourage family members who actually went onto the scene so as to be able to authenticate the actual cause of the children being missing, you will realize that the onlookers of the environment sounded to the people as though they are all being bribed, intimidating them, making the environment appear so fearful that nobody can go there. And unfortunately, in the bomb mine zone, total number of police assigned there for our whole enclave, 5. None of them even get massacred. They were the one that people anticipated to have established preliminary case in the investigation, which was unfortunate. And even down to the commissioner in the very area also made people to think that the place is too terrible. How would you then be able to establish facts regarding the missing of these children when those who will be the first-hand investigators are intimidating the family members to carry on the investigation? Howbeit, we're so persevering that we went to the extreme, like Brother Bambo, a very hard-hearted young man or older man. He wanted to say that no matter the cost, we will get to the bottom of this issue. They told us that we could have not gone beyond bomb mines. We braved the storm and power bomb mine. Interestingly, area that is supposed to have taken us to go to where these things occur, they took us the direction that could have added onto our discouragement for it continuing the trade. They did all of those things. So we finally came to realize that whatever is actually happening regarding these children, they are alive. But they want to test the result of the parents of these children. When they shall have exhibited an act of weakness, then they'll go on to perform their ritual for which those children have been actually handled by them. But until then, we are optimistic that they are alive and they must be produced. The government also on their own side, we are observing some sense of weakness, but we don't want to be emphatic that the government is altogether weak, because we are also butters in the effort of the government in this investigation. First and foremost, if you get 5 police in that kind of a terrified zone as they are claiming, bomb my 5 police officers, no massacre. I mean, if the family side is so big like we are, 3 different family groupings of people, we also have to go to the extra mile. In that case, we are giving the police all of the necessary information. But unfortunately, for them to develop interest in most probably being born, unlike the children, that in itself also is a kind of sorry for the expression, it's a foolish question for the end of the security apparatus to tell us, oh, there's a plan that they want to burn Simosipe. That's very foolish on their own side. And I'm seeing it with no regret.
Are you disappointed?
More than disappointment. If there's another word to describe my present status, it will actually go beyond disappointment. Now, in furtherance of that, even the traditional council heads, Zanzan Kawada, went into the bush to be able to help. But do you know that they themselves actually have been retarded? In that, nowadays, no traditional leader is asked to carry on any ritual without a permit. He being the head of the council could never have given any instruction to the traditionalists in the bush to be able to go through their traditional formality in order to be able to pursue these children. Because if they do so, they'll be going against the state.
Even when life is involved?
Of course. That's the issue. That is the reason why in all of the investigation since one way. But by the way, let me just say this clearly for the sake of record. If you claim that children have drowned, today made it 9 days, no traces of either the shirt, trouser, before I talk about the human being. But interestingly, one of our brother in person, Honorable Adam B. Connor, who went in pursuit of the same case, trying to pray to the God of creation over the river, as he stand his hand up, he run on his finger, flip, and drop into the water. And he said, well, my rain house going to the water, but I must get it, and I will get it. Zanzan Kaotoyi, you will get the rain. Interestingly, the river that they claim the children got drowned for the last 8 days they could not find, the rain was found the next day, beneath the same dark river. An interesting, amazing story. What we want to tell you clearly, we don't want to tell you the next course of action. Our plan could be very grievous if government choose to be like a desiccant. Our plan will be extremely grievous if the government chooses to become like a desiccant in pursuing this case. This all has to say.
Are you seeing big hands protecting Moses?
Say that again.
Are you seeing big
It's
hands?
eminent by thoughtful reasoning. It's eminent by thoughtful reasoning. Because in the first place, police authorities have been contacted from here, realizing the policing bomber was insufficient. They also went on to accurately start exhibiting some acts to get us weak. And interestingly, as they were complaining of not having phone, one of their phones was being borrowed by Brother Blambo to just go through it to call somebody because his phone went off. Unfortunately for the police officer, a mobile number came there straight, $100. So anticipatorily, Moses must have been involved in the accurate trying to make sure that all those who are involved in the investigation are enticed with some card so as to be able to make sure that evidences everywhere will be destroyed. The commissioner in the area, can you imagine, begin so inconsistent, the commissioner of former district, begin so inconsistent to an extent where he made a family to understand that, oh, it's true that the children got drowned. When we asked him to take us to the area, unfortunately, where they took us, he himself said his existence, he had never been there. How would a canoe have plowed that particular river at that particular point when the commissioner of the area where he was born claiming that he had never, and in fact, there is no unclaimed point of the canoe. You see that? So we are seeing holistically, all of the story coming up regarding the children missing and the rest of it being killed are purported. It is done in order to test the resolve of the parent. And the parent's resolve can never get tested in a weak manner. We are prepared and fully prepared to go to the banner of this particular issue.
How long?
As long as possible. Today, as I speak to you, we are leaving for again back to get to the traditional council. We have an appointment with them this morning. Internal affairs contacted as they have been contacted through the minister, Minister Van Salif, and we're going to also get a formal communication to the Justice Ministry. We know that the entire case is in the hand of the state, but to keep us on record properly, we're going to follow all these normal formalities. And we are certainly sure there's nothing that you have to say that you are not interested, or you find it difficult to establish it. Evidences are being established from all dimensions, except you want to actually renege. We've received tape all that whatever Moses is involved into, he's being aided by some big hands. But we care less of that. We care less of that. The only thing we can tell you, our children will be brought. If you claim that they drown, the body must be seen. We have members from all the end. That the poro, whether the poro law, we get poro members. Wherever you bury them, we will see them. You understand me? You can't keep dragging on them. You wait after 1 or 2, 3 weeks, then you go show someone old dead or grave somewhere. You say this is where. No. We have done all of the things. We have done all the calculation. We are working in a calculative manner. No lie can suffice in the case to set Moses free until the children are brought lively to us. He bear the consequence of their own action.
So, let's take it back here.
Yeah.
The police is giving different information. The commission is giving different information. And then you have gathered, Moses is giving different information. You have gathered your own information. Who are you going to give this information to? Can you say trust the police?
First and foremost, let me say this for the record. When somebody is considered to be the judge and evidences of reality are proven and the person continue to renege, indicatively, that judge is telling you that you should do what you can do in your own will. And if at all of what we are establishing as empirical evidences to indict Moses, government will not see it reasonable, then government is forced in the family to go to the extreme.
What will be that kind of thing? Can you specify the action?
What is considered not good is just not good. Our reaction will not be good.